Hey Adventure, so today is going to be my goals for 2025. So these are the reading goals and the channel goals, and I've kind of scaled them back a little bit, or rather scaled back the specifics a little bit, and I don't quite have as many. But before I go into my goals for 2025, I do want to look back briefly, if I can make it brief, to my goals for 2024 and see how I did on those. So to start off with, I'm just going to read these and I'll mention how I did on them as I go through them. So the first one was to finish my sci-fi short film script. I did not completely finish it in terms of having a final film, a final shooting draft or anything like that, shooting script or anything like that. But I did finish up edits on the, I don't know, it's like second or third draft. I think it's like the third draft actually is what it would be considered of the film, and so I need to go through and do another pass on it, and I need to get some feedback before I do that, and so I'm waiting a little bit on some feedback before I continue working on that again. But I did make some progress on that since my goals video. A finished first draft of Low Fantasy Season 1 script. That did not happen. I don't think I made any progress on that at all, which I'm not too mad about because I made some progress on some other things which I'll talk about here in a bit. Outline season 2 of fantasy TV show script, and I did not do much of that at all. Again, basically I didn't work on that show at all this year. I would have this year, 2024, as much as I would have liked, and I should have, but I didn't. Finish high fantasy short story. That I did, but I haven't polished it up. I've gone through and made a couple edit passes, but I need to get some feedback on it. I need to send it out to some beta readers types thing, and I did actually do it to send it to one beta reader, and I need to incorporate feedback, but I also need to go send it to some other people and kind of rewrite, maybe add a little bit more detail into something. So it's not done, but I did finish at least the first draft of that, so that was good. Finish short film script. I did not even start that. There's been absolutely no progress made on it, other than that it's always, not always, but I think about it I think about it often. I come back to it in my mind and think about how can I do this, what can I write about, how exactly can I make this work, because on the what it looks like side, I have a good vision of it, but on the actual words that are being said, I haven't quite figured that out yet. Outline my duology, my fantasy duology, and I don't remember how much information I gave on all these things in terms of titles or anything. Most of them have titles to some degree, but in terms of outlining this duology, I don't remember how much I outlined. I did do some outlining on it, but what I do remember specifically making progress on was that I wrote the prologue, or I believe I wrote all of the prologue. Maybe, I'm not entirely positive about that, but I did write a chunk of it, which is really good because it helped me to kind of solidify the ideas that I was playing with and that I wanted to, because before that it was well, what am I going to do? Am I going to do it this way, or am I going to do it that way? And so I needed to write that prologue, and by writing that prologue, I then was okay, now I know where I'm going, now I know where I'm heading with this, and I think I should be able to continue with my outline. I should be able to outline things a little bit clearer now that I have some things solidified in my mind. Plus, it was really good just to sit down and write some stuff. Then I had first draft of that book 1 of that duology, which I did not do. Like I mentioned, I did start in that I wrote the prologue, and a little bit of chapter 1, which is good. Outline my big epic fantasy, potentially 7 book series. I did nothing on that. Arthurian something, maybe. I did nothing on that. I have another what I'm calling a generic fantasy TV show. I think it's a TV show, but at least that's the way that I'm envisioning it. But I may just end up doing books or something like that. But I did not do anything with that. And that was just an outline, maybe. Then I had Year of Lewis, read the Space Trilogy and whatever other Lewis I have. I failed at that. I did read the Out of the Silent Planet, which is the first book in Space Trilogy, and I've started reading Paralandra, but I haven't finished it yet. I probably won't finish it by the time you're seeing this video, which will be early, maybe even the first video of 2025. I'm not sure yet, but I haven't finished it yet, but I have started it. But I did fail that one. Read books that have been sent to me slash and read what I own. So those two things I also did not do very good with. I have made a little bit of progress, but very, very little. Really very, very little. And so again, largely failed at my goals. If I look at these very detail specific goals. If I look a little bit broader at what I did as a whole, then I like what I did a little bit better. All right, so now let's take a look at my goals for 2025. And like I mentioned, they're going to be a little bit more broad or a little bit less detailed. And so I have physically read one book per month as my first goal for 2025. I want to be better about this. I would like to bump it up to physically read 2 books per month. That, I don't know how realistic that is, but I really want to buckle down and actually get through some of my physical books that I have here. Maybe they don't have audiobooks or something like that, or even if they do have audiobooks, maybe I would prefer to read them physically or whatever it might be. I really want to make some progress on my physical TBR. And so I'm going to focus really hard. I'm not going to ban myself from buying books or anything like that, but I am going to definitely focus on what I already own. And my second goal is to read what I own. Do a not so much a read what I own challenge, but to at least read the books that are on my shelves. If I can find them on audiobook, that's fine. I think that I'm going to change a little bit my way that I'm reading books, and if I want to read the book but the writing style is not helping me get through it quickly, I'm going to try and find an audiobook. And so that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to set aside the books that are taking me a long time to get through due to the writing, due to the size of the book sometimes. And I'm going to set those aside and do those on audio while I pick up the ones that I know I'm going to read faster, the ones that I'm going to just fly through. And that's kind of my goal with this one, with my Read What I Own challenge, is to actually make progress on my physical TBR, essentially. Along with that, though, goes my read the books that have been sent to me. I'm coming back to this goal. I really want to make progress on the books that I have been physically sent by, especially by authors, smaller authors or whatever, and they've asked me for reviews, and I have not yet gotten to a lot of those, the vast majority of those, and so I need to get to those. I've wanted to for so long, many of them for over a year now, that I've just really wanted to get to, and I haven't been able to because I haven't been reading or been reading really slow or been out of country or something like that. And so I want to make those a priority as well and actually get to those as much as I possibly can. And so that's kind of where my physical reading will be focused as much as I can, is on reading those books that have been already sent to me. I will mention here, I probably won't be accepting very many review copies from other people unless they have an audiobook, because I can get to audiobooks. I can't get to physical books very quickly, but on audio I can get to them a lot quicker. So unless they have an audiobook, I'm probably not going to accept very many, if any, review copies from authors going forward, or ARCs or anything like that, unless, and this is kind of a caveat which I feel bad mentioning, but I also kind of have like some brand loyalty a little bit, and so I kind of can't. And so basically, unless it's an author that I know and that I've read their works and that I love their works or something like that, and if that's the case, then I would be more willing to consider accepting a review copy from them physically than just somebody new. And so just be aware of that. If you're going to reach out to me, know that I probably will say no to your books just because I can't get to them in a reasonable amount of time, and I don't like doing that. And then another one of my goals here is to finish up the series. So I've started several series, and I'm soon here. I don't know if I'll be filming it today or not, but soon here I'll be filming a video about the series that I've started, it's a series check-in video is what it is. And that's just me going through the various series that I've finished since my last check-in, or have started since my last check-in, or that I'm in the middle of, or whatever, just kind of seeing where I'm at. And so that's a video that's coming up. But what that has shown me, as they always do, is that I have a lot of series that I've started and I need to finish them. And so that's also going to be a little bit of a focus, is finish up some of the series that I have had going for way too long, or just don't make progress on very much. And so I want to do that as much as I can. So those are kind of my reading goals for the year. I'm not going to put a book limit. I'll probably set it at like 52 on Goodreads again, or 60 or something like that, which is basically 2 books a week, or one book a week. I guess 52 books is 1 book a week, so that's like 4 books a month. It's not that bad. It's something that I actually can do. I think I'll put it at probably 60 books is reasonable. Yeah. I'm gonna mention this as well. So Andrew's Wizardly Reads the other day released a video about the downsides kind of the booktube community, and one of the things was that he mentioned was that he's gonna kind of be scaling back, and it just brought it to the forefront of my mind that I focus so much making progress and getting stuff done so that I can continually have content to be talking about, which is great. I love that. I enjoy it so much, and I've read so much more in these past 4-5 years of booktube, almost 5 years of booktube, than I ever have in the past. Even when I was a kid, even when I was in school reading all the time, I've read so much more since I started doing booktube than I ever did before that, and that's a great thing. I don't want to lose that, but at the same time, I do want to prioritize physically reading. I want to have fun with what I'm reading. I want to make progress on the books that have been sent to me and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm kind of doing a little bit of the same thing that Andrew is doing, where I am scaling back just a little bit in terms of my goals and not quite forcing myself as hard. And I'm going to allow myself time to have fun, allow myself time to do some other things that I want to do, and just not be so constantly thinking about, hey, I've got to read this book, I've got to get it read, I've got to do this thing. Yes, I'm going to try and do that, but I'm going to change my focus just a little bit and try and enjoy it a little bit more than just content mindset. Now let's get into the actual channel goals for the year. One of them is to build a bookcase. This has been on my channel goals for 2 or 3 years now, and I actually need to do this. Like, this is something that I want to do, that I need to do, and this year I didn't have time. And I'm okay with not getting it done this year, but I really want to make progress on that and get it done this year if I can. And so that's going to be a focus. Once the snow clears up, once I can get outside and work and stuff like that, that is going to be a focus for me, is actually building a bookcase that I can use as a backdrop, that I can store all my books. You can see on my bookshelves, I've got stacks of books, not to mention the book haul that I haven't even filmed yet since the last time I had a book haul. There's a stack of books. I have stacks of books on all my shelves pretty much that just are there because I can't organize my bookshelves because I have no more space type thing. And so I want that to go away. I want to build that bookcase so that I have the space that I need to put my books in. All right, what's next? Make progress on writing. So I mentioned that I talked about my 2024 goals and did a little bit of an update on how I did on those, especially in regards to my various writing things. And I'm not going to say specifically, I need to finish this one and this one and this one and this one like I did last year. I'm going to say make some progress on writing. And one of the things that I actually did last year is this. I actually did this. I made some progress on writing. I wrote some things. One of the things that I wrote was, you probably have all seen them on Instagram. You'll come across reels of various fantasy related things, like, here's your character type, this is what they do, this is the type of character that they are, and all that kind of stuff. And so I compiled several of those and put them together and was like, okay, I'm going to write this story based on this prompt that has been given to me. And so I took basically an Instagram prompt and wrote a story about that. I didn't finish it. I'm maybe halfway through. I don't think so. Probably a third of the way through is closer to it. And it's just going to be a short story. I don't know that I'm ever going to edit it or polish it up or anything like that, but it's a writing exercise for me is what it is. Just so I can practice, just so I can make some progress on writing and feel like I'm actually doing something with my writing, and hone my skill a little bit, as I'm not a writer. I'm not someone who feels like I have to put all these books out. That's not how I feel. I am, however, a storyteller. And so I need to have the skills available to me to tell the stories. And at the moment I don't, and so that's why I did this. But it's been really fun to write this, and it's different style, different humor, different type of character than I've ever written before. And so just doing all those things, putting them together, has been fun for me. and I need to get back to it. It's been several months now since I've worked on that at all, but it was really fun for me to work on, and so I want to get back to it, and I want to make some more progress on that one, which I think I'm calling my IG challenge story. Yeah, so I want to get back to that. Okay, what else? So I want to catalog my library. I want to go through all my books, and Tori actually did this. Tori from Tori Talks recently did this, where she went through and cataloged her entire library, and that's great. I also saw a reel on Instagram of a guy who got a library catalog scanner and was going through his library and was so excited about it. And it's kind of a fun idea, but I want to do it for myself so that I know what I have, so that like if I go to a bookstore or something like that and I'm like, what books do I have? And I don't have to look through all the pictures that I took months ago or anything like that. I can just scroll through my library and see, do I have this one? Do I not have this one? Do I want this one even? That type of thing. And that would be really beneficial for me just to have. Plus then I could make some progress, check it off, whatever it might be. So I should do it in like a spreadsheet or something like that, but I haven't done that yet. That's one thing that I would like to do this year. Also, let's see, 2 videos per week. I want to get back to my 2 videos per week, which would be Monday is a review and Thursday is a whatever else I have going on, a tag video or a topic of some sort, or a Poetry Thursday video or something like that, just so that I can get back into that 2 videos per week. I'm getting behind on my reviews. I'm still back in, let's see, I am back in August with my reviews at the moment. So I need to get caught back up on that and make some more progress with that. So I want to get back to my 2 videos a week. It might be a bit of a struggle. The other thing is I want to do more author interviews. I've done 3 of them so far. I did one with Callie McClay, I did one with Liam Cutie Hall, and I did one with Charles McGarry for their 3 books for the books that they released this last year. I did them fairly recently, and I want to do some more of those. I need to reach out to some more authors. I've got at least one more in mind that I just need to reach out to. I've got many more than that, but one that I think I could absolutely get on, and I just need to read their book that's coming out before I do that, or I don't know. And I've got several others that I would really like to get on, and just I want to do some more of those because I've enjoyed them and I need to improve on that, and I think it's really good for the channel as well. Growing the channel is not my biggest, most gigantic goal or anything like that, because I'm not expecting to ever make a living wage off of this booktube channel. I wouldn't mind making a little bit of money, but that's not the goal. The goal is for me to have fun, for me to talk about books, and for me to be consistently reading, as the title implies, an erudite adventurer. I want to be making progress and growing through this process of reading and through literature and all that kind of stuff. And so in order for me to do that, I think it's really good for me to challenge myself and interview these authors and talk to them and learn a little bit about them, learn about storytelling from them, from their perspective, how they go about it and all that kind of stuff. And so I want to continue with that. I took a break in December because December's crazy busy for everybody, including myself. I think I can get back to it in January or February maybe, and hopefully that'll go good. I don't know exactly how it's going to work out yet, but I do want to do more of that kind of stuff. So anyways, those are my goals for 2025. I don't know how long this video has been. It feels like it's been about 20 minutes now that I've been talking. So I'm going to close it up. Thank you guys for watching an Erudite Adventure. We will see you guys again soon. Stay warm.